Ladies and gentlemen, and they thems of this gathering, great minds, curious spirits, and a few whose reputation rests on their thirst traps going viral among the tech incels of Twitter. We come here all as equals. I will treat you all as equals. We assemble here to debate the future of our species, but I will tell you plainly that the future is already here. It's arrived with the impatience of an ICE officer who saw somebody buy cilantro at the store. Watch out, cilantro. Sorry, that one was funny. The question before us, should we create super babies, is not a question of fancy or a dalliance of philosophers. It is the greatest pressing matter of our age. We humans are the last great evolutionary dynasty. For billions of years, life clawed its way upward, from cells to spines, fins to feet, cloaca to having two separate holes to shit and piss out of. Science joke for people. A cloaca was just a single hole for that. But out of us emerged a creature capable of sapience, one of nature's strangest and most miraculous things. With that gift, we've split atoms, made sand think, and sent vessels to the great celestial beyond. But in all of our triumphs, we've done something unnoticed, something unintended, yet so profoundly impactful, it affects the future of humanity. We have stopped evolution. For most of history, unyielding pressure of nature shaped us. Disease, hardship, and scarcity carved the edges of our genome, generation after generation after generation. But modern medicine, one of our proudest achievements, has shielded us from that ancient struggle. It has allowed countless conditions, afflictions, genetic burdens to continue when nature would have culled them. The same compassion that has kept us alive has suspended the very engine that has made us who we are. Our genomes now bear the scars of this. Centuries of errors, mutations, mismatches, vulnerabilities layered atop one another, deeper and deeper than a quad-stacked Anduril SPV. Sorry about that one. That was really bad. And unless we intervene, they will only accumulate further. We may be a species of great intelligence, but we also have become one of inherited fragility. We must do something. The future of humanity demands more of us. It demands courage not only to explore new worlds, to explore ourselves, right? Yeah. We now possess tools like CRISPR that give us the ability to rewrite life itself. These instruments allow us to resume the work that evolution can no longer carry forward. I want to live in a world where when people get drunk, instead of getting tattoos, they CRISPR themselves. I had a little to drink before this, sorry. Gene editing super babies is the next chapter in this long story of life. Imagine children being born free of disease. Imagine humanity whose cognition is sharper, whose bodies are stronger, whose diversity and resilience is great enough to explore the cosmic frontier we seek to inhabit. Imagine generations unburdened by the genetic mistakes of the past, equipped instead with the best we can offer. Our ancestors shaped stone. They shaped steel. Now it's our time to shape the genome.
Friends, judges, Josie. What we're here to discuss is whether humanity should cross a line that has never been crossed before. deliberately designing the genetic makeup of our future children, designing what future generations will look like and act like, and maybe even how they will think. This idea has a lot of appeal on its surface. Genetic disorders are still a huge cause of infant mortality. People die because of genetic predispositions like breast cancer. Maybe we could design kids that are smart enough to engineer our way out of global warming. It is a warning. My husband, he has this really weird ear thing. It's like this nub at the top of his ear, and I recently learned it's called Darwin's tubercle. It's this like evolutionary leftover from apes. I would love to not pass that on to our children. I really would. Oh man, or my eyesight. I mean, have you seen the size of this type for me to read it? Like, that would be great. Would love to not pass that along. But friends, I'm a journalist. My trade is facts, not fantasy, unfortunately for us here today. And I'm here to tell you that designing the perfect baby would not bring about some disease-free utopia full of super smart, super hot people that don't ever need Botox or facelifts. That is just not what would happen, unfortunately for us. Instead, it would exacerbate existing inequalities. That is, if it actually works. Already, fertility technologies like IVF have made it mean that the more money you have, the better access you have to fertility building resources. And I can tell you, if they ever do figure out how to safely and effectively edit human embryos, it will make IVF look really fucking cheap. And it will aggravate existing class differences. Instead of just giving wealthy kids a head start with better education, we could be giving them heritable biological advantages that compound over generations, like some sort of a weird genetic trust fund. Many critics contend this sort of selection even approaches a modern-day eugenics. The thing is, though, that these risks are, if any of it actually works. In my career as a science and technology journalist, I have learned one thing. Scientists are really optimistic, like way too optimistic about things. When researchers first unveiled a draft of the human genome at the turn of this century, they literally thought it would cure every disease. Francis Collins got up and said that by 2020, which was several years ago now, we would basically have a designer drug for any disease you could name. He said that. We do not have that. And that's because the genome wound up being way more complicated. People think that we'll be able to just select a menu of traits for our kid, right? High intelligence, athleticism. Some present-day companies are already offering pre-implantation genetic testing for embryos that claim they can do this, but complex traits are polygenic. They involve hundreds or thousands of genes. Traits like diabetes and heart disease are shaped by more genes than we have presently identified, and most genes influence many traits. They're often shaped not only by genetics, but environment as well. Traits like intelligence would be even more complicated. I'm willing to go out on a limb and bet that the genetics of intelligence are something so complicated and mysterious, we may never understand them. And if we do try to make changes to the genome and control these traits, we don't understand what that might change. CRISPR can introduce off-target effects, even with simple single gene edits. What about if you tried to edit away, say, schizophrenia, which is a polygenic trait that also has ties to creativity? Would we accidentally wrest all the creativity from the world? I mean, do you want to live in a world where every song sounds like it was written by Taylor Swift? I do not want that. So a couple years ago, when the first CRISPR babies were brought into the world, an international group of experts got together and they concluded that we aren't ready for gene-edited babies. But they said that if the world is ever ready for that, it should be limited to people who could not otherwise have a healthy child. And we already have technologies that can give that to most people, right? We have polygenic testing, we have carrier screening, we have IVF. With these things, most people can have a child that allows them to not pass along serious genetic conditions. So, pre-implantation genetic testing companies are already over-promising on some of this stuff. If you go to their websites and it says, pick the height of your kid, we'll give you the smartest kid. And the technology just can't do that. And it's not that the technology isn't advanced, it's that the genome is too complicated. One bioethicist described this to me as like trying to predict the weather a year in advance. You just can't do it. Our genome, our bodies, they're too complicated and dynamic. It's selling people an illusion of control. This is not actually control. You're not gonna get a super baby. You're just gonna spend a lot of money and like maybe the kid will have blue eyes, I don't know. Imagine if designer babies ever do enter the market. It will be more of the same. It will be people spending money on an impossible hope.
That was really good, and I didn't come prepared for the second part. So I'm just gonna wing it. No, but for real. I mean, every animal that has been born up until this point in time has been born using sexual selection with a little bit of randomness thrown in. This is the first time in the history of life on Earth, the history of life on Earth, the history of the whole Earth, that we can actually, maybe not completely decide, I'll give that to you, you know, we don't understand everything about the genome right now, but there are things we do understand. But this is the first time in the history of the Earth where we can actually make decisions about the genetics that we have instead of just leaving it up to randomness. And I think people sometimes want to leave it up to randomness because then they don't have to take responsibility. And I think sometimes taking responsibility is really hard. It's good. But super babies, you know, the gene editing of humans is inevitable, right? Got me. It's already been done. We have the technology to do it. And maybe it doesn't happen today, and maybe it doesn't happen tomorrow. And I'm not saying that we should market bullshit. Like you said, there are a lot of companies out there that are marketing bullshit. Unicorns, let's do it. And I don't think that that is necessarily the way to go. But I think we shouldn't stop. We have this power, we have this technology, we should use it. A lot of people are scared of this, and I get it. But you know what I'm fucking scared of? I'm scared of the millions of people who die of genetic disease, the babies and humans who struggle every day just because we're scared to use this technology.
My opponent,
I don't know.
My opponent has delivered a very dramatic and entertaining vision. I too am a fan of speculative science fiction. These are nice ideas, and I do want to point out this is a pet peeve of mine as a reporter, especially one who covers like wellness stuff. I hear all these people, they want to do all these things, take all these supplements, like genetically engineer their baby. I don't know, but like we all know the actual secret to being healthier is just like exercise and sleep well, you know, and like not drink too much. Like there's actually not like you don't need to engineer the genome.
Thanks,
for that.
Brian Johnson. Appreciate it.
I'm not sure he sleeps enough. I don't know. Okay, this is all a nice idea. Like we all want healthy babies, but the truth is most of the diseases we care about, diabetes, schizophrenia, autism, many cancers, they're not caused by one fixable mutation. I mean, they're not only caused by genetics, period, right? It's environment, it's your lived experience, and it's a little bit your genetics. And when it comes to the genetics, they're really complicated. Our science probably is never going to fully untangle them. I'm willing to go out and...
I don't know. Is that a pro or is that against? I don't know. Is that a for or against?
I don't know. what I know is people care about autism. I don't know. So there are genes that have a single mutation, right? Huntington's, right? That's one you've probably heard of. There's like 10,000 of these diseases, but they're all super rare. Combined, all 10,000 of these diseases account for like 6% of the population. And those are the diseases most easily fixed by something like gene editing. And once you step away from disease and venture into complex traits like intelligence, it gets even more complicated. Like in the future, you very well might be able to buy a baby that will probably have blue eyes. They're still never going to be able to fully guarantee it, but they're not going to be able to sell you a genius. It's just not possible. Josie has conveniently skipped over the scientific risks of tools like CRISPR, like off-target effects, mosaicism, which happens when gene editing occurs unevenly in embryos, resulting in an organism with different genetic makeups. And the international consensus is that we need to figure this stuff out before we even attempt to implant a human embryo again, because it has already happened. Cat is out of the bag here. And when you edit the human germline, the risk isn't just for one child, it's for every generation that follows. Even if we imagined a future where every gene tied to a disease or desirable trait was identified, the problem still does not go away though, because you just can't get around the complexity of the genome. You can't edit a gene for cognition without affecting metabolism and mood regulation and growth. We can't change how the genome fundamentally works as advanced as our science becomes. Our DNA is not a menu of modular upgrades. Our bodies are not machines that you can pull one lever and everything else stays still. Biology does not work this way. We are not software. So even in the most optimistic fantasy, the core issue remains. You can't isolate a trait without risking unintended consequences. Zayner babies rely on a false metaphor of human genetics. It's a metaphor that promises control, but actually delivers unpredictability. Human dignity doesn't come from trying to actually control every aspect of our destiny. It comes from embracing that our bodies do not need to be perfect.
That was good and sounded smart. Wait, I'm going to do one even better. I'm going to share a line from Das spake Zarathustra by Nietzsche. This is my attempt to sound smart. All beings hitherto have created something beyond themselves. And you want to be the ebb of that great tide? You want to go back to the beast rather than surpass man? What is ape to man? I'll tell you, a laughingstock, a thing of shame. And just the same shall man be to Superman, a laughingstock, a thing of shame. Thank you.
Very brief. I like it. I'm going to talk about Gattaca. Okay, so everybody always talks about Gattaca when they talk about a world filled with designer babies. But my pet peeve is that nobody actually remembers the point of that movie or how it ends, right? The lesson of that film is that if you work hard, if you're resilient, if you have grit, that your DNA doesn't matter, that you can overcome any kind of genetic determinism by just being a vibrant and attractive Hollywood celebrity, I guess. So I don't deny the possibility that we will have gene editing. It's gonna happen in the same way that we now have some gene therapies, right? We have gene therapies for very rare, select number of genetic conditions. We'll probably have that for a very rare, select number of genetic conditions that you can't fix by pre-implantation genetic testing or carrier screening or those kinds of things. But it's going to be these very rare instances. And I can get behind that. I think a lot of experts agree that could be a good and game-changing use of this technology. But to expect more, to want more, is to deny the complexity of the human genome. The fact that the traits that plague us, like mental illness, are sometimes connected to the traits that bring us joy, like creativity, as long as it's not Taylor Swift. if we erase, sorry, Swifties, can't get with it. No. So if we erase imperfection, we erase variation. And if we erase variation, we erase something essential about being human. I have no shot in San Francisco arguing against any technology.
I don't know. I think you won. That was really good.
Thank you so much to Josie and Kristen. Yes, San Francisco is a scary place. One thing that you'll quickly learn when you live here is that when people watch sci-fi movies, when people read sci-fi novels, they don't really care about the lesson. They're all roadmaps. Every single one.
I'm a former San Franciscan, and I don't live here anymore because I do not think it's back.
Oh. You should have said that after the voting, Kristen. Okay. That's you don't live here either. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna vote now.
You think I dress like this and live here? Come on.
We need more people who dress like that. Okay, it's time to vote. Very excited about it. So, to start, if you believe that Kristen made the more compelling argument that we should not have super babies, please make some noise.
Go easy.
And
go easy,
if you believe that Josie made the better argument that we should have super babies and embrace the Nietzschean ethic, please make some noise. Okay, so it looks like Kristen takes it. Congratulations, you have a super baby of your own, your very own Furby, and Tamagotchi. I haven't seen one of these in decades.